What's up, beautiful people? The verdict is in. We gonna talk about it. My2Centz. Let's go.
I'm good, I just be up in my thoughts, say, yeah. Don't feel sorry for me. No pity parties for me. New Benz, new Barbies for me. For the list of my regrets, no more sorries for me.
Yeah, man. We're back again. And like I said, the verdict is in. Bars. Anyways, episode 11. We just going to we got to talk about the verdict. Derek Chauvin. We got the verdict is in. This is going to be we're going to call this one Crooked Officer. My2Centz on Derek Chauvin verdict. But yeah, got the people with me, of course. The homie Chris is here. You know, he's there.
What's
you know
up?
what I'm saying?
What's
And I
up?
got
Glad to be here.
I got the homie Sid. Is
Hello. Did you guys miss me this week?
can I call you Sid? Are we on that level?
we're
to where
fine.
You might not know her well enough.
Nah.
You might not
He
know her
good.
well enough.
I hate it. Don't none of y'all call me that.
11 episodes in, I
But-
just got my G pass.
So
we really about to do this real quick.
I'm about to give some context. So here it is. The context is, so I have known Sydney for a good 13 years. Has it been that long?
Just about.
09, 10
Yeah,
in
09,
that room. So that's not 13. That's like 11 going on 12. But anywho,
We can
and
count
so
fluid ounces.
and we've all and I've always referred to her as Sid or something around that spectrum. So she disclosed to me probably about 2 months ago, I don't really like it. And I was like, bro, why you let me call you Sid all these years? And she has a preferred name. So if y'all notice, I go in and out of calling her Sid and Nee. Because Nee is the preferred nickname,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's actually a family nickname. So
So I'm family.
yeah, my family called me Nee
So
for
excited.
years, so I'm sharing that with the world. My
So-
family called me Nee for years.
Okay.
That was my nickname because my dad's name is actually Sydney as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm Little Sydney. So other than that, they would always say Nee, and then the Little Sydney was too close to other stuff.
So little Sydney,
Don't do that.
Oh, don't do that.
I've been calling you Sid since day one,
And that's
I
fine.
feel accepted because you've never turned on me. You've never said anything bad about
Yeah.
it. So I feel like family.
She
That's
just,
what-
said, she just in turn called you Howard.
I've never done that.
Or no.
I've always called him
Big Spoon.
Big Spoon. I say Big Spoon because I find that hilarious. I find that hilarious that they call themselves Big Spoons. I'm getting to the point where I might start calling him Teaspoon or Tablespoon, and I can't.
Teaspoon.
And then Madison Baby Spoon, like whatever they call the spoons for the babies, the toddler spoon or something like that. I don't know. I'll figure it out at some point.
But no, we
Whole silverware set over here.
Yeah.
we ain't gonna do a lot in this early portion of this because I definitely want to just get into this verdict, man. So obviously this week we got the verdict in the Derek Chauvin case.
Yeah.
For those who live on the rock and don't know what's going on, Derek Chauvin is the former police officer, who is responsible for the murder of our brother George Floyd. This is him.
It's funny. Do you see his badge is crooked? That is funny.
Crooked officer? That's funny.
The irony.
Look, man, they write themselves. The jokes write themselves. So
all come
I have
full
never,
circle, I
I've never
promise.
noticed that his badge was crooked. But we got a few. If y'all don't know who Derek Chauvin is, y'all crazy. But this is the guy here in the courtroom wearing a mask. I've always said he has some weird ass eyes. And,
He do.
even in the original George Floyd video, his eyes was just doing some weird, and.
He looked like Satan.
Y'all, I went to the doctor today.
They gonna-
And I was at the dentist, and the dentist had the same eyes, and I was like, "Hey, can I get somebody else?"
Oh no.
But obviously, man, they carried this brother out, guilty on all 3 charges: second-degree murder,
Yeah.
as well as first-degree manslaughter,
Mhm.
and then third-degree murder. So, yeah,
Oh, them
definitely
eyes.
them eyes, man. It's
That man
something,
look crazy.
something serious.
Eyes.
And then as well as after this verdict, we still have the trials of
Sentence.
no, he still has to get sentenced, but the
Yeah.
other officers involved still
They
have to
still
go
have to
through.
go.
Oh yeah,
They're
yeah,
actually
yeah,
having
yeah.
a joint trial as well. So I think we have a picture of those two We have that, Josh.
It should be 3 of
It's
them.
3 of them.
Yeah,
right?
it's 3 of them plus Derek Chauvin. So I'm
One
not
of
sure
them
if
got
One of
punked.
them is his brother-in-law.
Really?
Is that not correct?
I don't know. Don't make me lie.
I believe so. I think it was the Asian officer. I think
That's his brother-in-law?
That would make
You know what?
sense.
I did actually hear that at the very beginning.
That would make
Now that you
sense.
said that, that reminds me. But
yeah.
yeah.
And
So
he's so scared. He
with all
looks
these
scared the whole
charges-
time.
with all these charges, he's standing to a max of 40 years in jail. They're saying
40 years.
max
good.
40 years, and so you know,
That's
I
good.
kind of want to just talk about you guys' reactions. I know my reaction. I personally did not watch any of the trial. I only watched the verdict. Did not want to see any of the trial. Like, to me, it's triggering to see people. The fact that they had people, you know, bringing people to the stand to justify and to excuse the behavior, that pissed me
Oh,
off.
yeah.
And so, like, I'm looking at you. I understand they may have paid you. They may have did whatever the case may be as a doctor or whatever to come say whatever, you know, that they said there to kind of justify. But fuck you.
Oh, okay,
You know?
Frank. Just put that out there. No,
I mean,
Your 2 cents.
you know,
no need to.
that's-
Wow.
Look, that's how I feel.
I'm not mad at you.
but-
It's definitely going around.
But no, brother Chris,
Yes, sir.
black man to black man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, first off, did you watch the trial?
I did not watch it, but I followed it on Twitter. So anytime there was like a headline or something that happened, I would usually see a tweet. So I was informed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you followed along. So what was your reaction to the verdict?
I was actually surprised. Let me tell you why. Like probably 30 minutes before, my mom called me and she was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm at home working." You know, it was like 3 or 4 o'clock. And I was like, "I'm about to leave though." And she was like, "Well, when you go out, be careful because the verdict is about to come in and I don't know what it's going to be and I'm concerned for your safety. So
Right.
Yeah.
if you're going somewhere today, don't go at night. If you are finna move around, do it now so that, you know, we can kind of guarantee your safety." So that's kind of when I started thinking about it. I say, dang, if that's the case,
Yeah.
he probably gonna get off if
Well-
that's the case. You know, like
Yeah.
that's kind of where my attitude shifted whenever she called me and told me that. So I actually got in the car and went to where I was gonna go, and the verdict came out that he was guilty, and I was just like, wow,
Yeah.
like, wow. You know, I was
Right.
I was really really surprised that they actually found him guilty, and then I thought about it later. Why the hell am I surprised? I saw the 9-minute video just like everybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
Why do I feel, and like you said something in our group chat, you was like, I really, like, I don't know if I should celebrate. Should I feel like I'm in a celebratory mood? Because I don't. And I didn't get it at first. Then I thought about it a little bit later, and it's just like, why should we celebrate something that we saw for
Hello.
9 minutes? We watched it multiple
Hello.
times. Like, this is the expectation. This was what should have happened, but we're surprised that it happened. So thinking about that in hindsight, I'm kind of like, damn, like we really,
Yeah.
we deserve this victory, but we're really surprised
Absolutely.
that we got it.
Let me tell you a quick story about me. I've always, my whole life, I've wanted a younger sibling. My parents told me at an early age
That's the end
wasn't
of
gonna
that.
happen, and they told me
Bro.
you better adopt somebody. So you know, for all intents and purposes, I adopted, you know, my little cousins and things of that sort, right? And so one thing about me is when it comes time for high school graduations, I'm not excited. I'm not celebrating your high school graduation. For
Why?
what? I knew when you was born, you would graduate high school. That's
Yeah.
bare minimum. That's not an accomplishment. You know, this isn't the 40s, 50s, 60s where you dropping out 8th grade.
Yeah.
This is, if you don't graduate high school at this day and age,
That's
you
a
know,
real
it's
choice.
it's something different there. But growing up in our family with me as your quote unquote older brother, you graduate in high school,
Yeah.
right? So there's not an accomplishment to me. Like, so I'm good job. What's next? You know, you're here. It's more of a rite of passage. You're now
Yeah.
done with grade school.
Yeah.
Whoop-de-doo. But we got other things on the it's kind of like for a championship team, we made the playoffs. That's what high school
Yeah.
graduation is. Yeah, we knew we was gonna make the playoffs. Now we got to do something else with it. So
Yeah.
for
Okay.
me, I don't
Must have been
celebrate
nice to go
high
to your
school,
school.
graduations. That's not
Makes sense.
something that I celebrate. And that's what I feel like this verdict was.
Okay.
A high school graduation. I'm not celebrating this shit. Why am I celebrating that the justice system did what it was supposed to do? Why am I celebrating that you put an obvious case to bed?
Because it's possible that the obvious case wouldn't have been obvious.
Now here's the issue.
And we know that.
But here's the issue.
We've seen it too
So
many
the
times.
issue
That's
is
why George Zimmerman.
I don't think people are celebrating it as a win. They're celebrating a non-loss. We didn't lose. You know? And so then I start to feel, and when I see people celebrate, I start to feel like, you remember when Kobe was on Jimmy Kimmel and his teammates, they had lost like 12 straight and they finally won. They was celebrating this win.
Yeah.
And Kobe just had that stone cold look like, this is what y'all got me playing with. Like, you know? And that's the way, that's
My
literally...
man was
he was pissed.
different.
But that's my
Mentality.
that was my reactions. Like, bro, I'm not celebrating.
Yeah.
We watched the video. We knew what the verdict should have been.
Yeah.
We knew what the verdict was going to be. I even said this. I knew that when George Floyd died, I don't know if you remember, I initially said from the beginning, this dude ain't getting off. And it's not the fact that, there's circumstances and there's evidence. It's the fact that I think America understood, the world understood, more specifically white folks understood, if his ass get off,
Yeah.
it's a wrap.
Yeah.
We going bonkers. We
Yeah.
going Archie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think they understood that from the beginning. And so I thought he was going to be the sacrificial lamb. He was going, no matter what the evidence said, he wasn't coming up out of there. And that's why I always felt like his eyes was weird. It was like he was chosen to be the sacrificial lamb.
He had to be.
And like, I don't even know if he's a real person. I don't even know if he has a history. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I just feel that way. So I knew there was no way he was going to get off with this.
But even though you knew that, be honest, wasn't there, as still just a black man, is there not a portion of you that still feels like you can take this L? You still feel like, even though you know that he's gonna get off, do you still feel like he could have?
For me on this one, it wasn't.
Okay.
Because I'm telling you, it was no. I genuinely felt like everybody knew.
Yeah.
That what y'all saw when his death happened, y'all saw, the rallies, y'all saw the marching, y'all saw, I wasn't a part of it. Y'all wasn't a part of it, but you saw looting. Half the people looting wasn't even black
us.
people, wasn't even uprest.
Right.
They was just people taking advantage of the opportunity. So we need to get
really
that clear for sure.
Turned the whole summer up.
Turn
year.
like
The
you
entire
know what I'm
summer.
saying,
Man.
All the way
and
up.
so it is
COVID who?
I mean,
yeah, I was out there.
yeah.
I was out
I mean,
there.
turned it up.
Like,
And
what?
so the fact that all this happened, y'all saw that, and y'all president at the time was trying to flip it and turn it, and it became an attack on Black Lives Matter, and all these things started happening, and I said then, y'all,
we gonna be all right.
this dude gone. We not taking this. And then especially after Breonna Taylor.
Oh yeah.
Breonna Taylor, after her people got off.
That's why I was never so certain about this one.
That's why I knew there was no other way for this to go.
Because he got off.
I mean, we started to see, our auntie Maxine.
Oh yeah.
Maxine Waters was saying,
y'all got to do something.
It's gonna be bad, if And so then the defense was trying to use that to have a mistrial, and the judge was like, "Hell no, we ain't playing that game."
Right.
Yeah.
And so it was just like I knew what the verdict was going to be from the beginning, which is one reason I didn't watch the trial, and two, you know what I'm saying. I just
it was just a lot to watch.
So I knew that was going to be the case.
Yeah,
so
I caught a few things watching that case off and on, and I'm like you. After a while, I couldn't watch it because I didn't like hearing the doctor say what he thought was going to happen, and then I would go back and just kind of listen to the summary because I liked hearing different opinions about what they thought would happen from the other lawyers and stuff like that. So I really had a nervous moment, like, damn, is it possible that they would let this man get off?
Yeah, that's how
I really had a moment where I thought it, but then I was like, nah, 9 minutes is too long to not know that you standing on somebody's neck.
But
and,
you know what?
And you could easily get off of it. Like, you can easily get off of this man.
But not only that, you had my man faced by the exhaust pipe of the car.
And I don't think
You
now
know-
the truth. Now that I'll give them some credit. I don't think they would act that smart to think, oh, we could kill him this particular way. I think they do. They could only kill him by just laying on him. I don't think they really thought that part through.
Okay.
So I think that probably came to a shock to them. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
For 9 minutes.
Shit. For 9 minutes,
Exhaust.
we done. So I know them other fools sitting at home that's on their way. They nervous as hell because you were helping him.
You took part in it.
You took part in that,
Yeah.
so you got to go do 2 years too.
And one of the things that
You
really
might not get the
For
full
real.
40, but
yeah,
you
but
got
you
some.
can go do 2.
one of the things that really rocked me was the fact that at some point after this fella has laid there, he's chill, he is not moved, he's not resisting. Can you get off of him?
No.
Can you put him in a car? Can we just get him on his feet? Can we sit him on a curb? Can we do something different from, you know what I'm saying? Can we do something different? Is what we're doing necessary? The fact that, like, I always thought it was, we go back to Eric Garner and his situation and how you telling me stop moving, but guy, I can't breathe. I'm trying to squirm to get air. I have no air.
Yeah, that always
So
bothers
one of
me.
y'all tackling me and trying to restrain me. The other one, you got me in the headlock. What in the fuck am I supposed to do?
Right.
Because
And
my
so-
natural reaction is to try to breathe.
Try to breathe. Like,
Yeah.
I have to try to breathe.
Yeah.
And even if I get a glimpse of air, then you tighten up even. It's I think something, obviously something has to happen with the way, people are policed with the way, and I would tell you, this is kind of off topic, but I'll jump for a second, come back. But the new laws that we have here in Texas, they're trying to pass where you can legally carry with no license. I'm telling y'all, and I mean this with
that's
every
dangerous.
ounce of my being, that shit ain't for us. I sell it.
Oh, when in doubt.
Even open carry ain't for us. Even concealed carry ain't for us. Ain't
Yeah.
none of that shit made for us. So
None
in
of
the simple fact that I'm a gun owner, I have guns and shit. As Martin said,
As
right?
Martin said.
So
We your new neighbors.
just letting you know, like, so I definitely feel the need to have protection for myself, my family,
Absolutely.
in those moments. But I will tell you, and if I say this and it gets me got, so be it. You will never catch me with a gun on my body ever, because I don't need it. If that's the case, then I'm in a terrible situation.
Yeah.
And
Gotta change
in
that.
which case, what people always say, you got to have it for protection. What if at some point you got to operate on faith? That's just me. Like, I don't live that life, so obviously, I would hope that life don't find me. Don't live that life. I've never lived that life, but sometimes you be in situations. But
Yeah.
I know if you're in a situation, if you're in a mass shooting, people say, "Oh, well, what if you're in a mass shooting?" Well, I don't want to be the black man that got a gun in a mass shooting. I don't want no pieces of that. I
Don't need that type of pressure.
No, I don't want that. I
Yeah,
don't want that.
I agree, friend.
I don't want that because
alone.
y'all come in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What movie was that? Where they came in and grabbed the black man and he was like, "Read the room." What
yeah,
movie was that?
I don't know.
Guys, I gotta think of
I
that.
don't know.
But I mean those type of situations. So I, for one, like I said, I was not.
I just thought of Martin. I just thought of Martin at the end of the Bad Boys 2 when he said, "I pay my motherfucking taxes."
I just think, honest and true, man, there was no way he was going to get away with that. And if he did, I think everyone knew what was up. I think, but one thing I want to talk about, for sure is, I think there was a collection of the community, the black community, who was not happy with the verdict. There were people who wanted him to be not guilty,
Really?
so that they could go off.
Why?
Because I think a lot of people. Here's a reality that I think. I think a lot of people are upset that George Zimmerman didn't get got.
Oh, I'm still pissed about that.
What? That's a Jay line, so I'm coming to you. What did Jay say about?
Oh wait,
What song was that? Oh my gosh, he said. Bree, can you look this up
Yeah, 'cause now
for
I'm
me? I
trying
didn't
to
know what
think.
song it was. But Jay said it's in the song with Nip. It's in the song with Nip.
Oh, the newest one.
The new song
What,
with
what
Nip,
it
I
feels
believe.
like.
But he said something about
About folks being thugs and they ain't done
no,
it yet?
about this all started when the streets let Zimmerman walk.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was Jay. I think Rick Ross may have said something about that too. But just I think a lot of people are like,
We still hadn't fixed this.
we let so much slide, and so don't let this be the one that y'all get right. Y'all screw this one up too, so we can
go handle them.
So now we can go, and it's just like and so
But
I
don't like that.
don't either. But
I mean, I understand them wanting to fix it, but which one was it?
let me see here. Let's see what the man Jay said. Jay said,
I feel so terrible. But I hadn't listened to that song a lot,
Me either.
and I think it's because I'm not a big fan.
What? Don't say that.
I didn't say it loud.
You said
what
it.
you say?
Nothing. We can move
Something
on.
that don't
Okay.
need to be
But
repeated.
I'm saying
Ever.
from the perspective that I was in a Facebook group
Okay.
around sports, okay? Sports Facebook group. And there was a post in there that a couple of white guys in the group got kicked out.
Of course.
And so
Deuces.
it is pretty funny. But one of the guys, he was like, anybody else, if y'all see him, point them out, let's get them going. It wasn't just like all white people. But then there was a thread. So this particular guy, they were talking about the case. Why you bring up the case in a sports group?
You ain't lying. Well,
Love will never
I
know.
think it's okay to bring it up because it kind of marries now what they're talking about with
It's
LeBron
cool.
and them.
It's cool. I understand.
Yeah,
I understand.
so I think it's okay now.
So they bring it up,
Kaepernick started
and so basically, one of the black guys was talking about how he wasn't happy about it.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
And so and he was just saying, like, he was basically explaining himself and why. And so one of the white guys was like, I don't get it. He was like, y'all asked for justice is served, and now you're upset, which was a valid
It was
point,
a very good
right?
argument, but
But
don't you have a nerve?
Read the room. Don't
Don't
step
you
into
have
that.
a
Don't
goddamn
step
nerve.
into that. So look, so he goes into that and he says that, and he was basically saying how he didn't understand. And so I'm from the case of you say you want change, then be the change agent. Like, explain to bro why you're upset. But they were just like, nah, hell no, get out. And so I when I see the post, I say, y'all kick bro out for that? Like, come on, man. And the dude responds to me and said, you can go too.
Oh no!
So I said, bet. So what I responded to him is, I said, I ain't taking up for nobody, because another dude said black people always want to take up like for white people, and I ain't taking up for nobody. I was like, and I'll leave freely if that's how you feel.
I could hit leave group.
Yeah.
Clearly, that's how you feel. Like,
because
y'all
left.
Y'all be
serious
saying
in this group.
y'all be saying dumb stuff in this group anyway. But I mean, I'll gladly leave. But all I'm saying is that, like I said, you want to be the change agent, then you be the change agent.
Right.
Explain to bro why we upset. I understand it because I'm a black man. I've been a black man for 32 years. I understand that, we have taken L after L after L. That this ain't no win for us. This don't feel like a victory. This feels like par for the course. This feels like you finally got it right and you want congratulations. I understand the feeling.
Right.
I said he doesn't. He probably would never will. But explain it to him. Then they go on to show evidence that how bro don't say nothing about sports matters, but when it's a racial matter, he front and center. I said, okay,
Well, then go for it.
get his ass on then. I'm with you. But I'm just saying, I'll just have one perspective. So
That's hilarious.
that taught me to, if I ain't that active in the group, I need to shut the hell up.
But they went deep dive on
Oh,
his
boy,
ass,
they-
man.
they went in.
Tell them
They
I
went deep
said,
dive on that man.
fudge all of that. Y'all ain't my only friends. I don't need this shit. Like, what the fuck?
That's what I thought was funny. Like, you can leave too. Mad.
for
Say less.
they hit you with the get on out.
Yeah, get on out. But so
Let's circle back.
Chauvin guilty. All 3 counts.
Praise
All
God.
three.
The sentencing is in 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I hope he gets
Chris?
a good season. Sentence.
So
I mean, talk to me.
in my very little experience,
I was about to say, don't you have some expertise?
I have a slight bit of expertise. I do have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, so shout out to me.
Shout out to
'cause
you.
I did that.
Shout out to Lamar
But-
University.
in my time and working with the justice system, what I've learned is a lot of times for first time offenders, you don't get the book thrown at you for real, because the criminal justice system is based a lot on rehabilitation. And in order to rehabilitate you, I can't throw you in there for 40 years, right? So, even though you could. But ultimately, I was having a conversation with Bree about this, about how much time we think he's going to get. So, the maximum is 40 years, based on what he did and the fact that he's a first-time offender. My expectation
is that for the first charge, or is that for all of them total?
So the max is 40 years that he can receive for the highest count that he did. So likely what's going to happen is that they'll serve him a sentence and run everything concurrently, which means that he'll probably, so let's say he got 40 years. It would be 40 years for whatever the highest charge he got, and then he'll serve them concurrently with the other sentences. So maybe he gets 25 years for one of the other one and 30 years for the other one, but he's going to do them concurrently so they all run together. So it's not like he's going to do 40 years and then after that 40 years.
So he technically wouldn't do 70-something years is what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Bastard.
So what I think will end up happening.
Fucking cheater.
But if he would not have done the crime on camera so egregiously in front of children, most likely he would probably get about 12 to 13 years, realistically, right? Because he's a first-time offender. He's also a former police officer, and despite how we feel emotionally about that, all of that goes into consideration when sentencing him. So I think that because he did it on camera in front of children and it was such a nationwide thing, on top of the fact that even in his career as a police officer, he has complaints. They're not crimes, but they are complaints, so they'll take that into consideration. But I think he'll end up getting 25 years. 30 if we lucky. I do not think he's going to get the full 40. And I think that a lot of us black people are going to be very upset about that because we want him to get 40 years.
They want him under the jail.
But this is where it all goes into understanding how law works as well.
Absolutely.
Realistically, because he's a first-time offender, regardless of how much we dislike him and what he did and what we saw him do, he's still a first-time offender.
Right.
So because of that, his defense team is going to take that in consideration when they submit their recommendation to the judge. And I think that he'll probably end up getting about 25.
Okay. So I think my question has always been, why didn't he get a first-degree murder charge? And why was it second degree?
So understand what first-degree murder is.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
So because there are people that don't understand the difference. So like he said, based on the law. So
first-degree murder is all intent. That's the difference between the
I
charges of murder.
I know I'm gonna take you out.
I intentionally killed you. Like my intention was to kill you from jump.
Right.
Then second degree, from my understanding, is that's voluntary manslaughter. I meant to cause you harm, but didn't mean to kill you.
Yeah.
And then third degree, the third degree is manslaughter. Like it's involuntary manslaughter.
Right.
I didn't intend to kill you, but you died.
Circumstances.
Yeah.
Basically.
Gotcha.
So those are the three differences. So third degree murder is first degree manslaughter.
And it's all about what you can prove.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
that's with everything.
That's why it's really important that the prosecution hits you with proper charges.
Right.
Because they charged Zimmerman, I believe, with first degree. I could be wrong, y'all. So don't take this to heart. I think they charged him with first or second degree,
which they couldn't prove.
Which you couldn't prove. So he should have. Which is why we were so upset with the prosecution, because he should have been charged for manslaughter.
Right.
Then they would have got his ass.
Yeah.
Because you killed this guy, whether it was intentional or not.
So they charged him too high.
Yeah.
And they couldn't hit him.
Yeah, it was
for
second
what they
degree.
charged him.
Right.
So they would have charged Derek with
second degree.
first degree murder.
He'd have got off.
He would have got off.
And you can't charge. From my understanding, I think you can't charge with first and second degree murder. Or you can't charge second and third degree murder. It has to be one or the other.
So see, I'm wondering who these lawyers were and why are these DA people that didn't charge all the first people, right? Because I know in law it's like there's always a case that says precedence besides money. But I'm wondering if that was probably why we were so upset to begin with, where it's like, okay, because we messed this particular charge up, they probably got this charge wrong because a lot of us aren't understanding the charges. So because we don't understand the charges, we need to really figure out what they're saying to us and how we're supposed to
So that would dictate how
we
we feel
we
a
really
little
need
bit more.
our black people that are lawyers to actually start talking to us.
Ooh,
Like,
Right.
like really start talking to us when these things happen, because we get out here and we, you know, the rest of us as normal people,
Right.
we get out here and we just going off of what we think, and then we're miscommunicating and spreading more hate into the community.
It's like
I feel that.
it's
You know
like,
what I'm saying? So we need to have people that, if you have the knowledge, give us
Spread
the
it.
knowledge, spread us the right information, because you're gonna have the rest of us out here being ignorant, sending out
especially to the young
condolences.
people.
Now,
Spread it to the young people.
Yeah.
For sure,
Now,
especially.
I'll be honest. I agree with you. I also agree that we have people who spread that knowledge about politics and things of that sort, and people still feel they want to lean on their seat that they got at government class at the ninth grade, because people around here celebrating the impeachment of Donald Trump, like he's getting out of office. Y'all don't understand politics, and it's the same situation. Understanding the justice system. You know how I learned the difference between those.
How?
I fucking looked it up.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know what's the difference.
Do your research, people.
Do your research.
Yes.
Do your research.
Understand that although it's messed up, you want to get him at a higher charge. And people want to talk with emotions. He meant to kill him.
Yeah.
He may have. But what can we prove?
Yeah.
Bro,
We definitely need to do that.
Just hit on something like so important. A lot of times when these situations happen, we talk from emotion and not knowledge of the actual law. And where white people come at us, where we get even more upset, is with knowledge of the law, and which is, a lot of times it's why they say things that trigger us and piss us off even more, that I'm not going to repeat. But a lot of that comes from their perspective of looking at it from knowledge of the law.
Yeah.
And if we as black people had a little bit more knowledge of the law when these things happen, then I think it would affect the way that we moved a little bit differently. But a lot of times we just get emotional when we see something. We see a video, we see a tweet, a text, whatever the case may be, and it's straight emotion.
Yeah.
And then we don't get the result that we were looking for based off that emotion.
Yeah.
And then what happens after that? More emotion.
Yeah.
Right.
And it just completes.
Yeah. And we don't need to do that. We don't, because we are very emotional people.
Nah, for real.
And our emotions are basically spiritual movements. So if I feel it in my spirit, I'm going to move that way. So it's just, we definitely need to start communicating with each other and spreading the actual knowledge. We need to start our book clubs with our kids again. I know COVID is killing it. Grab you 3 or 4 people and y'all figure that out and start talking to each other. We just need to do that. We need to be better about that. We just have to.
Yeah.
We can't be out here ignorant.
And I think, and I'll tell you one thing that another thing that got this unseasoned brother kicked out the group. Another thing that got the unseasoned fella kicked out is the fact that he said why he said it, I'll never understand. But he said they were talking about Mark Davis.
The tweet he posted?
The tweet, Mark Davis is the owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, and he tweeted after the verdict, "I can breathe," and put the date. Now, his intent behind it was that is the words that George Floyd's brother said after the verdict.
Right.
I can breathe. So he was in support of George Floyd's brother.
Absolutely.
He thought he was doing the right thing.
But but I can breathe coming from a
White
unseasoned person
Yeah.
is what the Blue Lives Matter group was saying after someone's death. I don't think it was George Floyd, but that was their
That's
thing.
what they would always say.
Breathe.
I can breathe. I can breathe. What's your deal?
So the fact that he said that, everybody jumped on him,
hurtful.
and although it's
We gotta do better.
No, but it's still his
But
fault.
I mean, you tried, but you should have put more.
But after he explained himself, he stood on his privilege and did not delete the tweet. He said that he's not gonna take it down.
Yeah.
And then George Floyd's brother did not have an issue with the tweet. So everybody, all the unseasoned people, seem to say, well, his brother didn't have an issue, so why do you have an issue? Well, look, all of us don't share the same emotions
at all. Just
I have my own emotions. I feel some type of way, just as his brother can say, hey, it's okay, whatever the case may be. So I mean, people feel different. I just think obviously we
just like your boy that let old girl get off after she called the cops on him. in the
now,
park.
Now look,
He was wrong for apologizing, but I mean, if he think his suite in heaven gonna be big, then that's on him. You know, that was his decision.
who we talking
What you
about?
talking about?
You don't remember the black guy that was sitting in the comic writer? Actually, he was sitting in the park, and the white lady had her dog running around. He said, "Ma'am, you need to leash your dog."
Oh, these are the Karens we talking about.
Yeah, the Karen
okay.
girl, and she ended up
I thought
getting in trouble for it, and then he was like,
Oh,
"Oh,
I
I
know what
forgive
you're
you.
talking
Don't
about.
get her in trouble. She
Yeah.
shouldn't be fired and all this type of
okay,
stuff."
I remember
That
that
type
yeah.
of stuff.
But
So I was just referencing
I thought
that.
I thought you were talking about the latest police killing.
I still don't like. I don't know. I wish I knew all the facts.
Yeah, so I don't want to get too much into
Yeah,
it
I wish I knew all the
because
facts.
I want to wait for obviously more details so we can have an in-depth, educated discussion on it. But I'll say off of initial view, there's no way I will always feel some type of way when I call the police and I end up dead.
And which one we're talking
that-
about the 15-year-old girl,
Yeah.
the foster child.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's never gonna sit right with me. I call the police, and you
take me out.
you walk into a situation, and the reality is, a lot of police officers, I didn't say all, a lot of police officers is punks. Because the first thing you do is grab your gun. I feel like you are trained to handle situations better. I think if I, as a concealed gun carrier, if I have to de-escalate and figure out other ways to deal with what's going on, and my gun is the last resort, which is what you're taught when you get your license. Your gun is the last resort.
Why are you pulling?
Then why did you walk up to this situation and the first thing you grabbed was your gun? Why is it that you didn't grab a taser? Why is it that you didn't just grab the girl? Why is it that you didn't pepper spray anybody?
Yeah.
Why is it that the first thing you grabbed was your gun?
I got an answer. And it's not justification, but it's just an answer.
Okay.
He was scared.
He's a punk.
I think they all do,
scared.
especially when they know they're called out to a certain neighborhood. And then they run up on the situation, and it's one of us.
Right.
I think initially they like, I'm not finna wrestle with this end. I'm not finna wrestle with this end.
Here's the problem for me. The problem for me is that I think that when you get you come into a situation and you're scared or whatever the case may be. Like I understand that people have fears. But I think for me, as a police officer, if I was a police officer now, granted, I've never been a police officer, never trained to be a police officer, will never do either of such, because that's not my ministry, that's not my calling. The Lord has not called me to do that, so I will
That's
not
not
be
my
there.
desire.
That's not my ministry. Okay,
Yeah.
So let me get that out the way. But I will say, from the outside looking in, that if I am a police officer, you damn near gotta beat my ass unconscious before I pull my gun in this society.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell I'm bringing my gun out. There's too much that has happened, that can happen. When I walk into a situation, I'm trying to do everything
Other than that,
before I pull my weapon. That's
because I know I'm scared as it is. I'm scared to just shoot a gun on New Year's.
and
these people out here just.
And there's a lot of people
trigger happy.
I talk to. I mean, matter of fact, prime example, Ashley. I'm like, hey, let's go to the gun range. Nah, I ain't trying to do that.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna get you a gun. Nope, I don't want it. Hey, I'm
That's
gonna do
right, sister girl.
And her thing is that, if I know I have it,
I'm gonna use it.
More prone to act with it.
I'm
you're
going
more
to
prone.
use it.
And I respect that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I've
And I
never. And
respect
you know
that.
what? I've never said that out loud because I didn't want to say it because I know people don't be taking me serious all the time, but I know at the
'Cause you
same
sound like a
time.
hater.
And you live
Very
in
much
Texas.
so. Very much so. And then on top of that, I'm little, and I don't want people to think I'm that type of crazy where like I'm literally only gonna shoot you. No, I know my only option is probably gonna be to shoot you.
Right.
So I'm not. I don't want to put myself in that. I've always heard you live by the gun, you die by it. So guess what? I don't want to do. I want to die of natural causes.
And
that's it.
And I think one of the things is, I'm sorry to
Nah, you good.
Nah, you
cut
good.
you off, Chris, but let's talk about this, girl. Let's say we're in a situation and somebody pulls a gun on you. Okay.
Oh,
Right.
This is gonna be good.
Do I have my own gun or no?
That's what I'm finna say. Can you put?
Can you put them on the screen?
Yeah.
'Cause I want
Put
to
on
see.
the screen. I talk. So
Yeah.
So I pull a gun. somebody pulls a gun on you, right?
Yeah.
Now, the intent of you pulling the gun on, the intent of me pulling my gun on you is for you to be a punk and back down, because what you gonna do now? I got a gun in your face.
Right.
Now, they say pride to kill a man.
Right.
And if I got a gun on my hip, you know what? we finna test this theory. Because I think that's what happens a lot of times. You pull your gun, so we gonna get, I know I got my gun as protection, so I'm a little bit more apt to stick my chest out. And
it's almost like you waiting on me to pull. I'm waiting on you to pull yours so I can pull mine.
Because I know I got it.
Because I got it.
And it's kind of like, oh, you pulled yours first. Okay, this where you want to take it? All right. That's fine. Then we gonna tussle, and as soon as I can get to mine, now we got somebody else laying dead here. And so it's like, I think that is probably that to me is one of the main reasons I don't want to have a gun on me, because I'm telling you, if situation arises and I know I got it, I
because I'm going home to my family.
Yeah, I'm
going home to mine.
And if you have it, like, or even the fact if you don't pull it out, so you got a gun to your face, take me through that situation just real quick. Take me through that situation. What do? You have a gun on your hip, but what do you do?
If I have a gun to my
face, have a gun.
But the gun was pulled on you.
The gun was pulled on you, but you got a gun on your hip. What do you do?
I'm gonna first try to talk myself out the situation. But if it's too late and I already have protection, then you do what you have to do to get out.
In which case, you get to your gun, it's kind of like you're gonna get shot in the process.
If I have my gun on me, what is my thought process in that moment? Because if you have a gun pulled on you and you don't have a gun, then you have two thought processes. Either one, I'm gonna die, or two, I need to figure out how I'm gonna talk myself out of this situation. So when you don't have a gun, it requires you to think more. And also, when you don't have a gun, it requires you to move differently so that you don't get yourself in situations to where you would even need to use one.
So I asked you that for a reason.
What's up?
I asked you that for a reason, because if that's the thought process that you take with no training,
right?
Then a police officer who goes through training that we pay for, what Martin say? I pay my
taxes.
Right? So you go through all this training to learn how to de-escalate a situation, to learn how, I'm assuming they train you how to fight, at least a little bit. You gotta learn how to fight a little bit. But so at least. But all these things, all these weapons that they give you, and we still keep getting people killed in the street. And it would be different. I ain't gonna lie to you. It would be different if everybody was out here getting shot. It may be a little bit different if what's up, but in that Roof, what's his name? The white kid who's Dylan Roof. If Dylan Roof got shot, we may have a different conversation.
Right.
Oh, the one that walked into the church.
Yeah,
the one that walked into the church.
The other kid who
the one that was in, what was that, Milwaukee, that he was walking around?
Yeah, the other kid in Milwaukee who had a gun and got.
There are people saying that those two people or those situations are different. That we shouldn't compare what she did to what they were doing. But that's why I still need other facts. I'm
not saying as far as a comparison. I'm just saying for the simple fact that these two people walked away. One of them went to get some Burger King, but they both walked away and they killed people.
Yeah,
big time.
But yet, Breonna Taylor, who's sleeping in her bed, gone. George Floyd, who chilling, gone.
Yeah.
Eric Gardner trying to sell some cigarettes or whatever the case may be, gone.
Sandra Bland just trying to get to where she getting.
Just trying to get to where she getting, gone. You know what I'm saying? Philando Castile, my man told you I got a weapon. Hey, it's right here. I don't want to do nothing with it. Gone. And it's like all these people, but you let the cat who shot up a church walk free, get Burger King.
It's like
I'm still upset about that Burger King.
It's the disrespect. That's what it is.
And I think that's what draws our emotions to those things.
It's the disrespect.
I was trying to look up the actual meaning of the Geechee, because I was thinking about the day of the Geechee because I still hadn't watched the Soldier Story yet, and I want to watch that movie, and I was thinking about it.
I got you.
So that's what I was trying to. Before I said it, I wanted to make sure I understood exactly what it meant.
I got you.
So.
But no, let's put a pin in this because obviously we have 3 other situations that happened this week involving the police and death, and I believe one of them involved a black cop and a white kid.
He was actually I want to say Hispanic.
Yeah. So
and 13.
So we'll definitely as we get more details, we'll kind of bring that conversation back as well. But let's jump real quick. Let's go ahead and, like I said, put a pin in this. Let's bring it back. Let's jump real quick. Let's do our 2 songs for this week. Chris, what you got for us this week, man?
I got "Protect and Serve" by UGK.
What?
Port Arthur, Texas, not me.
Police are not your friends. They're here to protect.
But my shirt was made by a Port Arthur person, just so we.
Something like a hater.
Something like that.
So you got "Protect and Serve." And what else we got?
Yeah, "Protect and Serve," and then my second one. Honestly, bro, I only got one song this week.
Okay, that works. That works. That's cool with me. Nee, what you got?
I have "New Slaves" by Kanye West.
Okay.
Good job. Wait, it's not a good job yet. Unless, what's the second song?
"Sound of the Police" by KRS-One.
Okay. Phenomenal job.
Good job, man.
Fantastic. I'm so proud of you.
Well, I'm gonna do 3 songs since Chris only did 2.
That's perfect.
So I'm gonna go. My first track, I want to go with D Smoke featuring. Not even featuring D Smoke and Sir.
Okay.
The brothers. Let's go. Let Go.
Yeah.
That was a track they dropped shortly after George Floyd passed. And then I'm gonna go. I mentioned it earlier. I'm gonna go Talk Up, Talk It Up, the Drake joint with Jay-Z on it.
Jay-Z was
That's
on
when
that. Can you even find that now?
Yeah.
You can?
Yeah.
Is it on Tidal only, or is it still on Apple Music?
Yeah, I mean, it's on Apple Music.
Because I was pissed when it just
because
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
If not, it won't get at it. But in that's the track that Jay said. Jay said, "Y'all kill X and let Zimmerman live. The streets is dead. Done. The streets is done." So we're gonna add that. Let Go, and then I gotta go to my guy Reason. For one, Chris, I know I put you on. I put y'all all on Reason. I ain't gonna. I'm taking credit for that. But I'm gonna go with Better Days.
Okay.
Off of the first album. There you have it. So
nice.
We definitely gotta rock with those. Obviously, a very real emotional week.
Very.
With
a long week.
Yeah, very long week coming from. I feel like these last 2 weeks have kind of rolled into one. We had, we kind of talked about the Kyrie situation last week as well as our Dante Wright situation, and then we backdoor. We have 2 more police killings this week, and the verdict for George Floyd. So, in the George Floyd case, so obviously a lot going on, man. So, we just want to tell people to stay prayed up and be safe out there, because folks be tripping.
Yeah, burn your sage. Burn your sage if that's what you do. Grab your crystals if that's what you do too.
Or maybe you burn something that smells like sage.
Or burn whatever. And we have a bong for that.
Burn something and stay at home.
We do have a bong.
We have a bong.
No, we don't have a bong.
We
per
don't.
se.
Per se.
But boozy bongs, we'll definitely have that on the IG. I gotta look them up.
So y'all can burn something and stay at home.
Burn something and stay at home, and you can burn lavender.
Yes.
You can burn your sage in there.
Yes.
You can rock some essential peppermint oils.
We do. We understand it.
So all those things. But definitely, man, let's get out of here. Y'all got anything else we need to add to the people?
Just like, follow, subscribe.
Of course, we're gonna definitely do that.
Check us out
and definitely rock the new place. Hey, Linktree. Shout out to the boy Chris. Linktree is available on all the pages. Got all of our links on there, so you can get to the playlist if you want to get to the playlist. You can get to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. If you want to see our beautiful face, but you definitely like, follow, subscribe us. Check us out. Appreciate the boy Joshua for standing in with us today, producing that thing. Bria is always in the building, but if there be nothing more, we're gonna go. Drop the intro, Joshua. Outro, because we're leaving.
We're done.
Oh man.